you can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Time it is. It's 4 o'clock on a Wednesday. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you've joined us. You can be a part of the show if you'd like to be. 850-215-6290 is the number for the Red 7T's phone line. We're excited today. This is a big day, a huge day. Got Jeffrey in the building. Got Bone Crusher crushing the ones and the twos. And special guest, Coach Tommy Joe Whitten, here with us, and just now signed Mississippi State Bulldog Adam Land in the house with us today. Carson will be here shortly. Adam, good to have you here. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Are you excited?
I am very excited. Yes,
are you nervous?
I'm not nervous.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
It's good to see you. You know, having a Division I player, this is not new for you guys, right, but it's something that you definitely want to get used to, because that's how you win college or high school football games, because you're going to be playing against talent all across. Let's first, right out the gate, let's talk about, I want you to tell us things that he wouldn't say about himself, because obviously very meek, humble guy.
Right.
Just by the conversations me and him has had. Tell us things about Adam that just makes him special.
The first thing, if you go against this guy, you better be ready to fight. That's just the type of mentality that he's bringing to the ball game every single time. He's tough, hard-nosed. Even Coach Cooper, who recruited him at Mississippi State, one of the first things he'll say about him is Adam is a throwback player. Not a lot of guys in today's modern-day football are playing the game like he does, and just loves getting after people, love the physical part of the game, being down in the box, being in the trenches, getting after people at the tight end spot. And so that's the first, when I think about Adam, that's the first thing I think about, just how tough and hard-nosed and how physical he is as a football player.
Adam, let me ask you this. So obviously when you're out there, you know, a lot of people call football a contact sport. No, it's an aggressive, dominant, man versus man type of game.
It's a war.
It's a war. How are you able to keep that mentality, but during that, do not lose your cool, don't get your team put back with 15-yard penalties by doing something out of just anger? How do you control that inside your head?
I can, well, I'm not really a big talker overall, so I don't really have to I don't talk a lot on the field. I let them have it physically, but I don't say a lot of words to any of the opposing players most of the time, so.
Okay.
I try not to the best I can.
So you just silence is best.
Silence, yes, sir.
Okay, so showing it for.
But that question you ask him, that has been a work in progress to get to that step.
That's what I'm talking about.
The first seven, when he was a 10th grader, the first 7-on-7 tournament we ever went to up in Hoover, playing a tough team out of New Orleans. And I can't remember if they scored or we scored. Next thing you know, they're saying he doesn't like to talk. That's not true. They're yapping. they're yapping back and forth at one another. I think somebody pushed him after the play. Next thing I know, he's going 1-on-7 versus their entire team. And we got a full-on fight going on out there. But again, that just speaks to Adam's mindset and what he's bringing to the competition.
That's awesome. Well, and see, that's why we have Coach here, because we got to know. Carson, good to have you today, my friend.
Sir,
you signed with the Delaware University, the Fighting Blue Hens, correct?
Yes, sir.
The home of Joe Flacco.
Correct.
Joe Flacco.
Yes, sir.
And also Rich Gannon.
Yeah,
Rich Gannon was there. And Boyle, who was a big-time tight end for the Ravens, was also, I looked him up just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was there. And how do you feel about it? Are you excited today? Let's get you hooked up here a little bit.
I feel great, excited to get up there in January and get to work with the new teammates and new coaches and everything.
So let me ask you this. Are you going to be cold up there? That's cold weather.
Well, I'm from Virginia originally before I moved here, so I've seen snow, played in snow. So it's rough. It's definitely cold, and your fingers get, a little frostbite.
But not a big deal. Let me give you a little piece of advice. If you want to throw some petroleum jelly on you,
right,
and that takes away that's what they told me, somebody that I interviewed one time before. Coach, same kind of question. Carson Griffin. Mm-hmm. He's not going to talk too much as far as to us. Now, he might talk to people.
I don't know now.
He might talk to people on the field. Tell us the things about Carson that makes him so special.
Oh, man. Carson, I'll say this. Monday through Thursday, Carson will make me want to pull my hair out. He's turned my hair gray. But this is the thing I can say. When you get to Carson on Friday night, that dude is a competitor, wants to get after people, wants to compete, wants to win, willing to do whatever it takes to win. And both of these guys are just relentless competitors. I think anybody watched us play this year, one thing you'd say about it is just how well and how hard our team competes, play in and play out. And that's just a testament to these two guys, both seniors, both leaders, and really just set the tone every single day, not only in the games, but in practice, getting after it. And we're going to miss these guys, but again, appreciative of everything that they've done for our program.
Adam, let me ask you this. You were born and raised here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who did you play Little League football with?
I always grew up as JP as my quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And then what team was it that you played with?
I played with the Storm.
All the way through?
Storm, and then I played at North Behaven my 8th grade year, and then I went to Mosley.
Okay. So during those years, as far as playing with the Storm, who's some of the coaches and some of the people that you can name that was a big help for you learning this game of football?
Well, Coach Jamie was the offensive coordinator, and he is the one who made me a tight end. So I was at first just a defensive end, then he put me at slot, and that's kind of what started the whole tight end thing, and now here we are, so.
Yeah, fantastic move by him.
Yes, sir.
So you owe him a lot of credit for that.
For sure.
Carson, now you said you were born in Virginia.
Right.
So where did you play growing up?
So I was born in Virginia, and then I moved overseas to Japan, and then I came back to Virginia. But before I moved, I played APYFL, which is American Pride Youth Football League. I played for them most of my youth years. I think I was on that one program, and I started. Funny enough, I started at O-line. I know it sounds funny, but I did. I started at O-line, and then I just kept running routes, catching, and obviously I'm not an O-lineman, so I've always been a receiver. I've always liked catching balls, making big plays. So. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so now he spoke against you guys first. He talked about y'all. He gave y'all a little bit. Give us something about Coach Tommy Joe Whidden that maybe he won't say out loud in front of people, or just something. And it can be as embarrassing as you want it to be. It's your time. You're a grown up, and you can speak for yourself now. So he's not going to bench you. He might still make you kind of do some push-ups or something, but he ain't going to bench you.
I would just say people think he's a hard-nosed kind of guy, but he's really a big, soft teddy bear down in deep down. He's really a teddy bear, so.
Okay. All right, Carson, this is your opportunity. We've got lots of people listening, and tell us a little bit about Coach Tommy Joe Whidden.
Like Adam just said, people that don't know him, that are just regular students in the school, think he's some mean Grinch character, but, at practice, he's always joking around. He's still focused, but he always has jokes for somebody. He gave Fletcher, our other tight end, the name Mr. Softy because he was being soft. So he always has jokes up his sleeve, and he's just a great guy. I love being coached by him.
So the other question about Coach is, how much does he mean to you? How much does he mean to the growth that you had, when you came to Mosley from starting there? Because obviously he saw your talent. And, the biggest thing that a coach can do in high school is develop a talent, because if he can develop you enough to get you to that place, where you can go somewhere, but also you take his football program to higher levels and people want to come there. So what's something about Coach Whidden that he did for you specifically during this time, your career here at Mosley?
So I always grew up as a Mosley fan. Both my parents went to Mosley. They graduated from Mosley. So I always grew up watching Mosley. And then Coach Whidden came in my 8th grade year. And that's when they went 10-1 the first year and went to the 3rd round of the playoffs, I believe. And that's kind of what set me over the edge to really want to go to Mosley, and it made me just want to like basically prove myself that I belong at that school. And that program's always been the highest program in my eyes, and I think a lot of people's eyes. So just wanting to come there after seeing that season and seeing those guys like Randy Pittman and all those guys, Raiden Bruins for last year, and LaCavia and all those guys, they have a different kind of level at Mosley, and that's what really made me want to show that I'm that level too. So,
Carson, obviously, with your punctuality, you've really let me in on it a couple of times now. So either way, what about Coach that's helped you be here at Mosley and take you to the next level?
Well, I would say, like I said, I transferred here. I'm not from here. I didn't grow up here. He didn't know me when I was in middle school or anything like that. But as Adam's parents did, my dad went to Mosley, so he made the move to make me move here with my grandma to give me more exposure, more opportunity like that. Because Virginia, in my opinion, I feel like Virginia is an under-recruited state.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a really good football state. But yeah, as under-recruited, so I decided to make the move here my sophomore year. And he believed in me since I came in the door because I was a sophomore and there are other receivers ahead of me that were juniors, seniors that could have started worked, and I eventually took their spot starting sophomore year. And that was a big step for me to have 3 years of varsity film, getting out there with the best players in the Panhandle, and it really helped propel me. And he trusted in me to do that.
Coach, what do you think, or a better question is what is your goal for these guys? Now, obviously, you want them to shine and do all the things, but, pulling back from being a coach and just being a leader of young men, which is what you are, what's your goal for these guys after they leave you at Mosley?
My goal for them is to make sure that they maximize their potential. That's one thing that's important to me, is just in their development from what they came into in our program and what they're leaving our program as. And I want them to go through and experience the things at Mosley High School that is going to prepare them for the next level. So that it's a seamless transition, and then when they get to Delaware, when they get to Mississippi State, they can say, oh, I've done this before at Mosley. I got the confidence to do this because I've done it before. And I think if you talk to any of our former players that go off and play at the next level, that's one of the first things that they'll say is that Mosley football prepared me to play at the next level. I take a lot of pride in that. It's something that means a lot to me. And again, I want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can just to set these guys up for success.
I think that's wonderful. Now, Adam, something happened to you yesterday that I want to kind of talk to you about. I want to see, did any of the other schools try to flip you during this time, around this time yesterday, or anything like that?
Yeah, I did get a call. I got a call from Ole Miss on yesterday about 12 o'clock it was, and pretty much they were just throwing numbers around, feeling how my recruitment was going with Mississippi State, and I had to tell them there's not a lot of numbers that could really flip me. It'd have to be a really big number to really flip me. So,
And numbers, we're talking about money.
Yes.
We're talking about the dollar bills, y'all.
Yes.
Right? So, and I'm not going to dive into that because that's off limits, but I just... So Ole Miss called you yesterday, and was it just one of the guys that you've talked to through the recruiting process?
I believe it was their tight ends analyst. Mm-hmm. I think that's what was in his Twitter or X bio. So I don't quite remember what actually his complete job was, but I know he was something to do with the tight ends. And he just called me. He called my dad too, and we kind of talked it out. But there was nothing, like, I'm locked in with Coach Cooper, so.
Yeah, so it really wasn't about the money for you at Mississippi State.
Yeah, it's never really been about the money for me. It's just kind of, I like to have a good relationship with the coaches, and Coach Cooper's been there since day one. He was my first offer, so I wouldn't backstab him like that. So
Is that something, being able to just peel the layers back? Does that first offer, like for Division I like that, that really does mean a lot to you?
yeah, it definitely does, and especially there's a lot of offers that you get an offer and then you won't talk to them for sometimes the entire recruiting period. Other offers, guys who are really legit about you will continue to talk to you throughout your entire recruiting time. And Coach Cooper was my first offer, so he recruited me the longest time, and he was very consistent with all the messages and calls and stuff. So, I mean, that's why he's always good to me and my family when we go up to Mississippi State. So that was my big reason why I picked Mississippi State.
And that's solid, when you think about, and that's a tribute to your family, because the way you just described it is like a grown-up answer. And I know you're not just trying to do that for the radio, but that is, your mom and dad, coach, all of the people that has, helped you, mold you. That's a really great answer for you to be that loyal and to know what really matters, because as well as I do, this NIL has changed the game. It's changed a lot of people, and money is where it's at. Carson, as far as Delaware, were they your first offer?
No, they weren't. I would say they would probably be fourth or fifth on the list that came in. They came in July, June-ish, so sometimes in the summer. But like Adam, they're the most consistent, the most they communicated the most, and me being away from home for so long, I mean, it's right down the road in like 2 hours, so it was a pretty good situation for me, honestly, to be right close to home. And my parents, since I haven't been living with them for the past 3 years, it was a big green flag, I would say. For
yeah,
me.
so they're all close to you now, so that's going to really help. Who was your first offer? Do you remember?
FIU.
FIU. Okay, so that would have been even further away. Yeah. So that makes sense. And so that's your main reason for going
I would
there.
Say so, yeah.
What is some of the other things about the program that you like over at Delaware?
Their first year in FBS, and they're bowl eligible, which is a big major stepping stone for being the first year in FBS, and they're on the rise, I would say. We had a big signing class this year. I think 22-ish players signed.
Yep.
So they're doing a lot of good things up there. The coaching staff is very intrigued to have me, and they always communicate, always say, what's up, need anything like that. Coach Archer, my receiving coach, is a great coach, and I can't wait to work with him. He's very passionate, very energized, and he's a great guy. So
do you think that, going in as a freshman, have they given you have they come out and just said, hey, you come in and work hard, you got opportunity to play, get some playing time early? Or do they just kind of not really talk about that, just say, hey, we're just excited for you to come to the program? I just kind of want to get, what they say to you when they do, know that you're coming.
They definitely do say that. I mean, just as any going anywhere new, you got to work for it, though. You got to be committed to the process, you got to be committed to the weight room and everything else. And if you work hard enough and you put yourself in the right spot, the things you want will come to you.
So, Adam, you had an injury. I was there that night, and you're leaving early to go, and you're getting hooked up with them.
Yes.
Have they already sent you everything that is going to, who you got to go to and all that? Is it all going to be in house? Is that how it works?
I will be in physical therapy as soon as I get there. I've already met all the trainers. They have a whole program set up for me already. So as soon as I get there, I'll be right. I'm right. They'll connect with my personal trainer, my physical trainer here, and then they'll see where I'm at with her, and then we'll just kick off right from there. So
knowing how Ole Miss came in at the end to try to swoop you in and try to woo you with money, does it make your hate for Ole Miss going to grow now more than ever, so that the Egg Bowl will be,
Yeah, I think I don't want to say I hate Ole Miss, but
it's okay. You can if you'd like.
I mean, maybe a couple years I really will, but I think next year Mississippi State's in the Egg Bowl will handle them just fine. I think so. Kamario Taylor looks real good. So
Yeah, there you go. So, Coach, having these young men come out of your program and go represent Mosley, obviously means a lot to you, means a lot to. What does it mean for your team to be able to grow these guys, to let them see that, you can come here and attain what these other guys, all of these guys that's left and went to play at the next level, how big, how small, it doesn't matter, but they're going to play football. And now with the NIL coming in, you got an opportunity to make money while you're in college and all that thing. How important is that for you going forward for Mosley? Because, every time when you stepped on the field for your first playoff game, then to your second playoff game, you had Division I talent across the ball from you guys. So you got to keep bringing the people in, but you've always also got to bring these kids up to play at that level. How important is that for Mosley?
No, I definitely think it's important. It's something we definitely take a lot of pride in. And it speaks to just the talent that these guys have alone. Now, I think that Mosley football has definitely done things along the way to help their development and help them get to the spots that they're in. And it's definitely a delicate balance because, we want to, give these guys the affirmation and credit they deserve, but also at the same time, in any high school football team, the majority of your players are not going to go off to play college football, and you can't lose sight of that. And while, you'll have some guys on your team that aspire to be where these guys are, but the majority of them won't, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And you got to have a delicate balance of not alienating the core of your team, but also at the same time making sure that we're putting these guys in positions to be able to go at the next level. So I think it's definitely a delicate balance, but it's definitely something we're excited and proud about. And again, hopefully got a couple more kids that will sign here in February in the next signing period. And then obviously hope the guys in the future will continue to sign at the next level as well.
Yeah, that's exciting. And we're pumped up about it. Now, let me ask y'all this because, obviously Mississippi State is not playing in the college football playoff. Who do you think, Adam, is probably going to win it, and who do you think surprisingly going to make it in with them coming out with the rankings last night? Obviously, there's some people that are on the edge that have an opportunity to get in there. What do you think?
So I think a sleeper pick right now is Notre Dame. Yes.
To win it?
Yes.
Okay.
They shouldn't even get in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's going to win it just because of their running back, Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
He's been really good, and I've been watching their football games a little bit because last week they were on later. So
yeah,
I watched theirs, and they look pretty good. And then obviously Ohio State looks good. They just beat up Michigan. Those two and Georgia. I think Georgia, they've always have a really good defense, and they're always in the game. So.
Not even saying nothing about Alabama. Adam, I'm disappointed. I know you said no on Notre Dame. What do you think?
Notre Dame, I feel like they shouldn't get in one because Miami already beat them. And in my opinion, I don't really care about the eye test. I care about who beat who and how what the score was. And like I said, Miami beat them head to head. So in my opinion, they should get in over them. But you never know with the committee and stuff like that. But I feel like my sleeper pick, I guess it's not a sleeper pick, but Oregon. I have a decent amount of confidence in Oregon and with Dan Lanning and all them boys up there, Eugene. And I think Ohio State's going to go back-to-back, but you never know. Upsets are big in college football. So.
Yeah. They may have their hands full on Saturday, but obviously we got Jeffrey here, and we're going to do this whole we'll share this thing. I'm gonna let you have a bit of this. But Coach Whidden, we've talked about how the Penn State job is such a great job. Who's coaching Penn State now?
I don't know. I got no. They can't find a coach.
Coach Whidden.
That's what I said earlier. So Jeffrey, do you still feel like that Penn State job is a top 10 job without having anybody there?
Yeah, and they're going to get an NFL guy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's banking on the NFL, but they're just not going to have any recruits.
Mike
They're just
Tomlin.
going to have.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about their enrollment, how many alumni, the size of the NIL, and then signing day today, where they have three guys.
Three
guys.
Yeah.
That guys signed.
Yeah, I think Montana State had better recruiting than them. So, and I mean, no push down on Montana State, but
Montana State's ranked number 3 in the.
okay, yeah, there we go. Well, guys, we're going to have to go to a break. We appreciate you so much, and during the year, we're going to call you guys, stay in touch with you, and just keep up with your progress and how you guys do. So, I'll work that with Coach Whidden, and we'll stay connected, but we appreciate y'all. I know everybody's told you good job and all that, but that's a good job to be able to go to the next level and play football and get an education and all of the stuff. You guys deserve it. Way to work, way to go after it. And Coach, way to push them, way to get them there. And, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate having us.
Thanks for having us. When we come back, we are going to discuss some stuff going on with those Auburn Tigers. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 70s Studio Line. Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday, live from Atlanta, it's the SEC Championship with the Georgia Bulldogs
75 yards.
and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Alabama survived.
Coverage starts at 2, kickoff at 2:30 on your spot for the SEC Championship on the Gulf Coast, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Partly cloudy the remainder of the day with a wind out of the north at 7 miles per hour and 58. Tonight, look for partly cloudy skies with a temperature near 48. Tomorrow, a high around 58 and a variety of very light showers and mostly clouds. Friday, quite warm with a high of 69 and very light rain. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
Hiller's here, Hiller's here. You don't need to worry. If you're stuck without any heat, we'll be there in a hurry. Hiller's here to help you right away. We'll be there to fix you up. Call the Happy Face Truck today. Yes, Hiller's here, so never fear. Call the Happy Face Truck today. Hiller!
Happy holidays from the Hiller family. Take advantage of our current specials and deals at happyhiller.com.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's MaxFit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. I get people all the time in my store that say, hey, I've heard you're on the radio. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly. It's just one of the best form of advertising I did, and I've gotten great returns off of it. So if you're looking for some form of advertisement to drive traffic, check out Coach Hale Show on ESPN. Contact Coach Hale, and he'll hook you up and get you started in the right direction and get you a lot more business.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida. 850-215-4468. 850-215-4468.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are live and local and worldwide right here in the CBC Construction Studios. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. 850-215-6290 is the Red 7T's phone line. Don't forget, this weekend, we've got the SEC Championship, Georgia versus Alabama, right here, Saturday, 2 o'clock, 2:30 kickoff, and then following with the nightcap ACC Championship kickoff at 7 o'clock. Those big, bad Dukies are playing against Virginia, and I think that's going to be a not so good game. But either way, listen in.
Dukies?
I just was going to say, I don't like the Blue Devils, but either way, they beat Florida last night.
Well, it's because you were up in Kentucky for a little while, and Kentucky basketball, they hate Duke.
Yeah, they hate them.
It's a hatred.
Yeah, big time. But we don't hate here in this show. We love. And speaking of love, we've got Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, how are you doing today, my friend?
Oh, just excellent. How about you guys?
We're doing wonderful. We're geared up and ready to go. What's been going on at the shop? Give us what's happening and tell us about how crazy and wacky Black Friday was.
Yeah, it's a big weekend. A lot of holiday gift shoppers coming in. We had big sales. We got sales every weekend from now through Christmas. So different stuff each weekend. So definitely come and check it out. If the thing you're looking for went on sale last weekend, it may well be next weekend. So a lot of new releases, new products coming in, put a lot of new stuff out on the shelves.
There was something that came on today, right? Something that came out today that was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, Allen and Ginter baseball.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, that came out today. It's always a hot release. You never know what you're going to get because there's so many hidden things put into Allen and Ginter that kind of sneak in without telling anybody, as well as a lot of non-baseball things. So even in years where maybe the rookie class isn't lighting it up, there's always a chance that there's some great rookie that they pulled in, or great autograph they pulled in from some other sport or from the world of entertainment even.
Oh, wow. So they do that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. You can pull, like, celebrity autographs. Sometimes there's some football or basketball autographs in there. So, Allen Ginter is kind of a mixed, whole hodgepodge of cards.
So are they set up the same way as, like, Topps? Is it like hobby boxes, jumbo boxes, like that, or is it different?
They don't do jumbos. They do hobby, and they've got hobby and retail value boxes out today. So we've got both of those, and so you can still get some of the hits in the value boxes, just not guaranteed, not at the same drop rate as hobby. The other thing, of course, Allen & Ginter is known for is a really cool thing in the hobby called the rip cards. You pull a rip card out, and it's up to you to decide to rip it or keep it. And if you do decide to rip that thing open, there is another mini card inside of that card. So a lot of temptation and a big decision to be made there if you pull one of the rip cards.
What kind of price range are you talking about on those, on the differences between the retail and the hobby?
Yeah, I think the retail right now, the value boxes are about $25, and the hobby boxes are at about $160. So pretty affordable hobby box. Guaranteed to get some fun things. You get some short prints, and it's always some kind of fun, cards with different borders, and it's just. So you never know what you're going to get from year to year. It's really interesting who they put into that set, apart from the standard baseball players. Now, if you open a pack, 75-80% of your cards probably will be baseball, but there's always going to be something else extra thrown in there.
Oh, wow. So there's a chance to get that kind of stuff in that, and so you get that 160. What, as far as that hobby box, because I'm getting really intrigued by it. I might be spending $160 with you tomorrow or something, but what is guaranteed in that box?
So with that, I believe it's 20, 24 packs, something like that. Let me go out and grab one off the shelf. I think we got, let's see, hobby and a value box right here. Hobby, the box is a little bit different this year. It doesn't really look like other Topps boxes, different size. So 24 packs, 8 cards per pack. So you're looking for 2 hits in a box. But now these could be autos, these could be relics, printing plates, rip cards, booklets, all kinds of neat things inside the Allen & Ginter hobby box.
Wow. So that kind of stuff is kind of it could be anything, which is kind of, that's intriguing. That's one of those, because Topps doesn't do that kind of stuff. This is just for them, right?
For
Allen &
Ginter, yeah, it's a Topps product. Allen & Ginter is a throwback. It was originally a type of card made in the 1880s, and Allen & Ginter back then, before it was all just baseball cards, a lot of your trading cards, picture cards, were about, say, like stage actors of the day or famous places around the world, things that a lot of people had not traveled to and maybe hadn't seen a really good picture of. So there were paintings of things like Niagara Falls or the Eiffel Tower, things like that were in the old original Allen & Ginter products over the years. So when Topps brought this back around 20 years ago, they decided to, kind of throw a little bit of all that together and give it that same feel.
Now, if somebody knew let's say a movie star, and they're here in town, and I wanted to get a card made, could you direct me in the direction that somebody could get something like that made?
Yeah, there are some sites online to make custom cards. Usually, the quantity is going to be an issue. They're going to want to print, I don't know off the top of my head, depending on the site, 50 or 100 or something like that, perhaps.
Gotcha.
Then there'd also be the licensing issue. Maybe some of the printers wouldn't want to touch it. Let's say if it was a movie star, they wouldn't want to print out a picture of them, a scene from a movie because of the copyright issues.
Gotcha.
So, maybe it's a kind of a tricky thing with that. But there's always, there's pictures, there's 8x10s. Usually with that sort of thing, like celebrity autographs, the bigger the item, the better.
Wow.
So I generally wouldn't go card on that unless it was something really special about the card. I would go for a bigger item, a picture, or some kind of a prop or something kind of related to whatever they're known for.
Gotcha.
So this week, you said you've got some good deals going on. Give us some of those good deals maybe that the people need to know, because, I know that people are looking all across, Facebook and eBay and all that stuff for those cards and packs and all that, trying to find the best deal. Tell us some of the deals that's going on at your place, Alan.
Yeah, so last weekend we had all the retail boxes, all the mega boxes, all that stuff on sale. We had all the supplies on sale. At some point we're going to do a sale on memorabilia. We'll do a sale on some of the hobby boxes as well, some single cards. So at some point, I think between, Black Friday and Christmas, basically everything at the shop will be on sale at some point. So it's a matter of coming in, keeping an eye on our social media pages and seeing, what kind of deals we got going on right then.
Do you have customers that come in and specifically ask for a certain team or a player or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Great.
All day long.
Well, Brandon said that Jeff's questions just don't line up to what his questions normally do. So we're trying over here because Brandon is our card aficionado.
Okay, let me go ahead and put a stop to that right now. So we had a movie star fly out of the airport today. And yes, I did handle his bags and help him onto the plane. And the guy was...
you had his hand and stuff, walked him...
Well, actually, believe it or not, he stuck out his hand out, shook his hand and everything.
Okay, so it wasn't like you were, guiding him into the plane.
No.
Like y'all on a date or something.
No, but we actually had a little talk and everything, and he got on his plane and he flew out. And he's going to be on 2 different interviews today. And he's a big-time movie star.
And one of them was not with me. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
I actually am going to try and work on him maybe coming into the studio.
Okay.
We'll have to see if that, comes to fruition. Because, it's not easy, talking to somebody who's a big-time player,
Right.
And everything. And he'll fly back in tonight, back into town, and he owns a place over in 30A.
What do we know him from?
Movies and comedy.
Can you give us a clue?
Yeah, it's Clues, and it's kind of like Blues
Well,
Clues. Remember I wore that shirt?
Right.
It's Blues Clues.
So, Aaron, give us the address so that everybody knows the address and what your hours are for this week as well to the weekend.
Yeah. So we're at 752 West 23rd Street. That's the Stanford station with Academy Sports, Sweet Frog, all of that good stuff. And we're open 11 to 8 every weekday, 10 to 8 on Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Aaron, quick question. We just had some high school kids in that are advancing to college football, Division I football, and I'm wondering how with like the NIL coming out, are they making trading cards for high school players now?
Well, yeah, some, like kids who sort of get some national attention.
Yeah, can I get a Carson Beck card?
There are some, what was that? Sorry.
Can I get like a Carson Beck card or a Gunnar Stockton card?
Yeah, those guys have had cards for a couple of years now.
Okay. Okay.
Once they get to college, there are specific sets just for that. As far as high school, there are some companies that will kind of go like one-on-one with those kids and say, hey, we want to, secure your license to make cards for you. They're not going to make cards. They're just a whole high school team. But it's really few and far between. It's maybe a couple per year that kind of get that level of national attention that they'll make a card for. But college-wise, oh, yeah. In fact, we just got products in that are exclusive to there's one product that's nothing but FSU football. There's one that's nothing but University of Florida football. Wow. So if you're just a fan of those, you got somebody on your list this holiday season that, is a fan. Yeah, they got products now, packs you can open that are just that one specific college.
That's fantastic. So, yeah. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for being here today. Everybody go out, see the store, go out there, get you some Allen Ginter, because that's what I'm going to get. And let's see what we can do. And we might have to open something on the air one day. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, see what kind of stuff we can pull.
That sounds great.
You never know from box to box. They're all completely different.
That's exactly right. Well, we appreciate you, Aaron, so much. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you next week.
You guys do the same. Take care. Everybody out there, be safe. Come see us.
Yes, sir. When we come back, we are going to dive into the College Football Playoff Committee's poll. And at the top of the hour, we've got Brad Law from the Auburn Tiger University. Oh, man, you don't want to miss it. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. The Paul Feinbaum Show.
In the state of South Carolina, some little boys and some little girls grew up to be Gamecocks fans. And this time, come Saturday, we'll be on Stunk All Day Host out and they be crying, eating that leftover Gamecock turkey sandwich. 50% off all chickens. Let's go, Clemson Nation.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf Cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
The Sports Blitz. 100% live and local from the CDC Construction Studios. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Heck yeah. We are back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for all things sports, especially right now during the college football season. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be. You can call in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We talk about the playoffs, and we talk about all of the stuff. Well, the playoff committee dropped last night. Now, Jeffrey, when you look at what they said, Reese Davis did a really good job. He tried to press the commissioner a little bit, tried to see what he was talking about, whether or not he could get him to open up a little bit. He would not. He wouldn't fall for the bait. And but either way, when you look at what's going on over there, you've got a couple of teams. You've got Miami. You've got Vanderbilt. You've got Alabama. You've got all of these teams that are sitting there, and it's a big question mark. Now, I thought it was kind of unique that they moved Alabama with their win over Auburn, which I thought was a really bad game for Alabama. I thought maybe it was going to help or it was going to hurt Alabama, but it actually moved them up one spot, and they jumped Notre Dame. Everybody has been against Notre Dame this whole time for the most part. Obviously, we had the young man on, and he was talking about he likes Notre Dame and what they're going to be able to do. What did you think about that specifically? Alabama only beating Auburn at home and moving up, and Notre Dame, they won handedly, no problems. And Alabama jumps them.
I mean, I'm not discrediting Bama winning by 7 in a rivalry game.
Right.
Come on.
And it's Jordan.
Who's up for it? Who's under the crosshairs? It's Bama.
Yeah.
Alabama been looking. Auburn's been looking at this game for a month or two, right? I mean, they always do. So they always play up. And where were they playing? Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
I was a little. I wouldn't say use the word shocked. I was very surprised that Notre Dame moved down to 10, right?
Yes.
I didn't see that coming. I heard, and I don't want to use the word whining because I'm part of the whiners that are talking about the comparisons. And, you know, if Miami's not equal to Notre Dame, I don't know, man. It's really, really close. If you can give some type of nod to how Notre Dame can be like one above Miami, I would kind of understand that. But when they're 2 or 3, I just don't get that. I just don't agree with it. Notre Dame really has not played that schedule. They beat USC, whatever. You know, that's all you got? Come on, you got to bring something more than that. And being that 10, and Miami, I don't think they're going to be the first team out. I think they're going to be second team out. And Vanderbilt really is the one that I think is sitting on the outside looking in and being like, man, if we don't get there this year, we may never get to the playoffs. That's the kind of situation that's critical for Vanderbilt. Where Bama, been there so many times, don't even know, but we want to get back there. I don't think Bama's going to be kicked out. I think they would have to get crushed by Georgia is the only way they're going to get out. They're in. They're number 9 right now, right?
Yes.
They're in. I don't see, I don't know. I mean, I have been shocked before. And maybe Georgia just steamrolls them. But there's one statement that this committee's always made, and it's that for playing that extra game, which is a conference championship, it can't hurt you.
Wow. So they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is if that happens.
Yes.
Because if they get steamrolled, like you said, I don't think they will, but if they were to get steamrolled, then it would be like, man, I don't know if they're one of the best 12 teams in the country, because that's what we're trying to get. That's the problem that I have with all of this playoff committee stuff, because you got teams like North Texas, you got teams like James Madison, and you got Tulane, you got those people, and they've lost their coaches, all of them. So if you want to talk about how Florida State feels about that. I'm sure the Florida State fan base is saying, man, y'all didn't let us get in. And I know that there's different people in there now, but the whole committee by large did not let Florida State get in due to Jordan Travis's injury. Now you've got all these teams on the outside looking in, James Madison, Tulane, North Texas specifically, that those three teams have lost their head coach, regardless if they're coaching the rest of the season and going to stay just so that they can get in. But they're gone mentally. You know, they're only there physically. They're trying to build their teams. You just had signing day today, but to get to the point about all of this, when you're talking about this playoff, don't you want to have the best teams? I don't care about all of this other jargon that you want to bring up, but don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other? Because if you do, there's no way you have James Madison, there's no way you have North Texas, and there's no way you have Tulane, because there's no way Tulane, James Madison, or North Texas could beat Vanderbilt. They can't beat Vandy. They can't beat Bama. They can't beat Texas. So don't give me this mess that we are looking at eye test. The eye test is you give me the best 12 teams and let that be who's in the playoff.
But some people like stories and like a Cinderella or a Rudy story. And I don't think top 25, like the off conferences, if you win your conference in the top 25, let's make it somewhere a little more like 18. Would that be better if they did something like that? If you're ranked 18 or higher and you won your conference, you get an automatic bid from those small conferences? Not even 18?
No, because unless you are you talking about making the playoffs larger?
No. I'm talking about stick with 12.
No.
If North Texas, who's not a completely bad team.
Understood.
Yeah. I mean, who is it they lost? They lost to South Florida on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And they got beat pretty bad in that game. But it was one slip up. You look at the rest of their games and they're like beating people by 14 and 20 and 20 something.
Yeah, because they're playing Little Sisters of the Poor. And I get it. And it's just like Tulane. When Tulane played
Ole Miss,
what did Ole Miss do to them?
Steamrolled them.
Yeah, they steamrolled them. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to have these teams. I get it. If you want Cinderella, go watch the movie. Don't put it in playoff football because we don't want to see that. We don't want to see Boise State. Okay, Boise State did the whole hook and ladder or whatever, the Statue of Liberty against Oklahoma 25 years ago, however long ago it was. Fine. We can replay that. That's great. That's wonderful. But let me tell you what they didn't do. They didn't win the national title. So there you go. Yeah. So that wasn't a national title football team anyway. But you want to put these guys into a playoff, that's fine. But just don't mess up the 12 teams because there's no way you can tell me. You think any of those three teams that I named, Vanderbilt, Texas, and Miami, do you think any of those teams would lose to North Texas, James Madison, Tulane? Because I think they beat them 10 times out of 10.
I won't pick one of them.
And one on Friday.
I won't say what the team is, but I think one of those three teams could lose to North Texas.
Miami?
I've sworn an oath I cannot say any of those three names.
Yeah, well, either way, that's just
So what if North Texas beats, they're playing Tulane, right?
Yeah.
If they beat them by 17 or 25, it's still not going to convince you.
I'm not convinced because they don't have the body of work, and it's not their fault. Listen, I'm not blaming North Texas for being a good football team. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that they've got players and coaches on there that could go anywhere in the country and do really well. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is they're not playing in the bigger conferences. And if you were to take a team like Missouri and put them in that conference, Missouri would curb stomp every team in that division. And that's the same way with the Big Ten. You take Indiana, you take Oregon, you take Ohio State, you take those guys and put them in that conference, they do the same thing, but win by 50. And that's what I'm trying to say. Yes. Are they good football players? Yes. Are they a good football team? Yes. Are they an FBS team? That's great. Y'all done wonderful. You know what? Put them against Michigan. Put them against those type of teams that's already lost. Put them against a team that's not in the playoff, but somebody that's a good school, and let them play against them. Let them play Virginia.
So that conference, the American Conference, I know they lost their top three teams, but do you realize they've already put a team in the playoffs?
Yeah.
It was Cincinnati.
Cincinnati already made it. Yeah.
Yeah, they already made it. So, I mean.
And it didn't work out well.
Bama jumped on them a little early, went up like 10-0. I think Cincinnati kicked a field goal, and then I don't remember what the final score was, 24-10 or 24-6. I think it was like 24-6.
Yeah.
It wasn't a demolishing.
Desmond Ridder was on that team. Sauce Gardner was on that team.
So Cincinnati came from that conference, but, you know, losing Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, it's really kind of not the same conference, but I'm going to make a little rebuttal on the whole North Texas thing. I think they're going to beat Tulane, and I think they're going to get that automatic bid, and they're going to be in there, and then they're going to lose by probably 20 points to somebody.
Yeah, because their coach is gone. We got a phone call here. We got Arnold on the phone. What is going on?
Man, I just wanted to call and tell you that it's been that way with the Golden Domers since they was back in the 60s, man. They don't want to get in a conference because they scared they may either lose the conference championship or either have to share the money from the bowl game. They need to realize this is 2025. Get in a conference that guarantees you a chance to play in a national championship. As far as I'm concerned, they ought to throw them all the way out. They ain't playing nobody. They're not in a conference. Let your top conferences that work hard to get there make their season a good season. Don't give nothing away to a team that ain't willing to play in a conference and expose themselves to other teams. That's just the thought that I had, man.
Yeah,
just have a good day.
Thank you so much for the call. I agree. I think they try to play an ACC schedule.
Six teams every year.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
And so, it's not always the best. ACC hasn't been very strong as of late.
Yeah.
They don't play Big Ten or SEC.
I mean, other than playing Stanford just the other night, right, late night game.
And they did play Texas A&M.
And Miami. What are the other ACC games you're going to remember them even playing?
Yeah, that's all I remember is what they played the other night, Miami, and then A&M. That's it. And they played A&M early, so
I'm not even sure if they did play Purdue. So they did play a Big Ten team. The bottom.
Yeah.
And they beat the crud out of Arkansas, who's the bottom of the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really good resume at all.
But I am glad, and it does help me. Maybe they are listening to what the public opinion is because they did move them down.
They did.
Which is very shocking. I was not thinking that they were going to do that, and Alabama is the benefactor of that. So either way, when we come back, we are going to talk to Brad Law from Auburn University. He's going to tell us about their new coach, Coach Golish. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70 studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Rich Eisen Show.
Well, this year, we might see an earlier exit. I'm finally believing it. The mistakes that they are making are costing them in one-score games. And then they just do un-Chiefs-like things. 10 penalties for 119 yards against the Cowboys. They did take the lead. And it looked like, okay, they're going to show up and they're going to boat race the Cowboys, and that's the end of that. Then the defense just couldn't stop a cold.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays 11 to 2. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Partly cloudy the remainder of the day with a wind out of the north at 7 miles per hour and 58. Tonight, look for partly cloudy skies with a temperature near 48. Tomorrow, a high around 58 and a variety of very light showers and mostly clouds. Friday, quite warm with a high of 69 and very light rain. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job, it's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting your family.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The wait is over. Sunday, December 7th, your Jacksonville Jaguars return to Everbank Stadium for a massive division showdown against the Indianapolis Colts. This is more than just a game. It's a statement. The Jags are back home and ready to turn up the heat in their iconic Prowler throwbacks. Kickoff is 1 p.m., so pack the bank and make it loud. Secure your seats now at Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. The Sports Blitz.
Woo! Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It is. It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. Hump Day is here, and you made it. Thanks for listening today on the Sports Blitz to Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7Ts phone line 850-215-6290. We've got Jeffrey in the building, Bone Crusher crushing the ones and twos, and we are excited about what we are about to talk about. On the phone lines, we have the Director of Communication at Auburn University. We've got Brad Law on the line. Brad, how are you doing today, my friend?
Guys, we're doing well. War Eagle, good to be with you. And, we're ready to direct some broadcast operations tonight for basketball here in just a couple of hours over in Neville Arena in a big matchup against NC State.
Oh, yes. And don't forget, we definitely will be talking about that. But you know what we're calling to talk about today. The Auburn Tigers have named their coach, and pretty exciting for the fan base. I know that everything that I've read, everybody is excited. We did a poll here, and Auburn came in second as far as being the best hire of this area as far as what the fans thought in this area. And a lot of people thought that this was the steal of getting Coach Golish. How's it going over there with all of that, Brad?
Who was number one in the poll? Was it Summerall at Florida, or was it Kiffin at LSU?
It was Kiffin at LSU.
Interesting. So folks in Florida thought that the Auburn hire was better than the Florida hire.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
And it was.
Well, and and Kiffin, I guess you can judge on metrics. It's all to be determined, I guess. But no, folks here are really excited. It's it's a program that has every resource available, has won national championships, has won conference championships, and is in the midst of the longest run ever of things. And so you needed a new culture to be developed. You needed something different. You couldn't keep doing the same thing that you had been doing. And, Coach Golish has a track record everywhere he's been of developing relationships with players, high-scoring offenses, hard work, and results. And that's kind of what, all those things are what Auburn is built upon, and all those things you have to win. So that's what everybody's pretty fired up for around here.
Paul, when you ranked the new coaching hires, where did you have the Auburn one?
I had him at number 2.
Yeah, I had him as number 1, and I'm the LSU guy. That says something right there.
Well, Brad, when you look at what is today, which is signing day, the early signing period, we saw a lot of kids flip. And, it wasn't a bunch, but it was a pretty good amount that he had already had committed to USF. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Obviously, a lot of people do that. That's not anything new. But it was a testament to the kids being connected to him? Because, you know, we just had some of our local recruits that one's going to Mississippi State, one's going to Delaware, and they spoke about their position coaches. And, you know, that was something that you hear a lot about. But it seems like a lot of these guys that are coming to Auburn now, they were his guys. And so talk a little bit about that with his ability to be able to recruit, especially in the Florida area, being the smaller school, but now having Auburn's name to be able to really get out there and recruit.
Yeah, I think when you go even beyond his time in Tampa, but he recruited very well at Tennessee. He recruited well when he was with Iowa State and Toledo and Illinois. He's been the director of recruiting at 3 different stops, or was the director of recruiting at 3 different stops on his way up. So not only does he know how to organize the plan, but he knows how to go execute it. And he talks about being process-oriented, process-driven. Even in his opening press conference here Monday, in a couple of the answers, he talked about we have a plan. We're working on our plan right now. And so when it comes to recruiting, again, can you build relationships with players? How do you do that? All right. Well, number one, you're honest and upfront. You're not, and you're yourself. You're authentic. You're kind of raw and real. You're not trying to be something or someone that you're not, because kids see through that. People are smart. The second thing that you do is you let them know you care about them beyond what they can produce for you. He's done that everywhere he's been. Mm-hmm. Then the third and final way that you do that is to outwork them, meaning that you never ask them to work harder than you're willing to work yourself. He's done that everywhere he's been. So when you add that dimension to what Auburn already has inherently that you can recruit to, that's attractive and maybe in some cases separates Auburn from some other schools in the league, it's exciting to think about what they can do given months and weeks and years and whatever to put those roots down in recruiting territory. It's also interesting to wonder what recruiting looks like. Like this signing day is the least fanfare I can ever remember for the first day of the signing period, and I don't see that changing in the near future unless and until the guidelines change around like NCAA eligibility as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. We're speaking with Brad Law with Auburn University. You know, Brad, talking about the hire of Coach Golish, when were you guys notified? When did y'all know that it was happening? Because obviously it was like a domino effect after, you know, on Sunday with all these new, and then boom, there it was, you saw it. When did you guys know? Like, give us a little inside info.
Well, it's going to be disappointing inside info. It sure wasn't 1 or 2 in the morning when apparently everything was fine. I'll tell you that. That's what Coach Golish said. It was that the offer was made at 1 a.m., and he signed the contract immediately when it was put in front of him because he wants to be at Auburn. No, we found out the official release went out at 10 o'clock Sunday morning. I probably found out about 9:30 or so Sunday morning. It wasn't long before it was official and out there. And there had been conversations before it was official that it was getting close or maybe was imminent. So, they moved quickly for sure overnight Saturday into Sunday.
Do you know that if he was their first choice, or were they ever involved with Lane Kiffin or any of the other guys, or was he the number one guy right out the gate?
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I was not in any of those conversations. What I know about John Cohen is that he is not a linear, like it's a choice A, choice B, choice C, and one is below the other. I think that you're working multiple conversations at any one time. Mm-hmm. And if you feel like at any point that this guy is the right guy, then you make that offer. And, you know, if you feel like this other guy may be the right guy, but he's not as enthusiastic, you know, if guy A is not as enthusiastic as guy B about being your head coach, well, now guy B becomes the guy that you want to be your coach more. So he's the right guy because he wants to be there more. So I don't think it's necessarily this linear kind of easy square peg, square hole type of discussion of first choice, second choice, third choice. I think they're all sort of in a category, in a pool, and at the point that John Cohen felt like he had the guy for the job, he made the offer.
Yeah. Now, how important, because I just saw today that he is named DJ Durkin. He got him to stay, and he's going to stay and be the defensive coordinator. How important do you think that was? Because obviously it's a touchy situation. We had talked about it here before, because, you know, he wanted the job. I mean, he obviously said it. He made a point to answer the questions when they were asked. And every coach, you know, that is wanting to be head coach and all that, you're gonna answer it correctly. And I thought he did pretty serviceable job, definitely against Alabama. But how important was it to keep DJ Durkin there at Auburn?
I think it's beneficial. I think that, you know, again, when Coach Golish gave him the opportunity to stay on, to continue to be the defensive coordinator, I think there are short-term benefits and long-term benefits. The short-term, you know, as it pertains to signing day and roster retention this year. I think a lot of those kids have built relationships with Coach Durkin, and it's, you know, him staying increases the likelihood that they stay. Now, their value is their value independent of who their coach is. Mm-hmm. So teams are still going to come after them, but they have the relationship with Coach Durkin. So now, him taking the opportunity to stay and be the defensive coordinator at Auburn with a ton of talent coming back, and I think that benefits the guys who do come back because it's another year in the system without having to overhaul the terminology. They don't have to start fresh with a brand new defensive coordinator in a new system. He doesn't have to start fresh with new players. He knows the strengths and knows the weaknesses and knows who's ready to step up and so on and so forth. So I think there are absolutely short-term and long-term benefits to him taking the opportunity to stay.
Do you know if Derek Nix is going to be still in the building, or has that not been discussed yet?
I like Derek Nix a lot. I don't know. I find it I think it would be surprising just because this is a head coach with more offense in his background than defense. He's been an offensive coordinator. He has an offensive coordinator. In fact, he had co-offensive coordinators at USF, and I think both are coming, including Cody Burns, who will be his associate head coach here, former Auburn player on the 2010 national championship team. So
remember him.
As much respect and admiration as we all have for Coach Nix, and as excited as we were to see a real Derek Nix offense over the last 3 games, I would be surprised, although nothing is official, I'd be surprised if he had the opportunity to stay.
Now, something on the comical side, it kind of let folks in on Golish a little bit, obviously making some questions, and how the media, how they are. I'm gonna say they, but when you hear what the question was about golf, and he made the point that he doesn't play golf and he's not very good at golf. How do you feel that came across for the Auburn faithful, knowing what the past was kind of, talked about all the time?
Yeah, I wish it hadn't been asked. I mean, it was the introductory press conference, and I know what they were going for, but Coach Golish doesn't strike me as a goof around kind of guy.
Yeah.
And his answer to the question, the first thing he did was he said, "That's a setup. I've been around long enough to know that's a setup question." And then he answered it seriously. Like, I think he's a serious guy, and I think he takes his job seriously, and I think he takes everything seriously. And he didn't say he doesn't play. He may play, but he says he likes football better than golf. I hope it's the last time a golf question is ever asked at an Auburn press conference. I think this head coach wants to take football seriously, and I think that came across in every answer that he gave Monday.
Yeah, I think so too. And to kind of go off of this a little bit, I don't know if you've read and because you've had dealings with Hugh Freeze. He definitely wants to coach again, and obviously when your coach gets fired, there's a little bit of resentment or in the fans and even some of the players or administration or whatever. But tell us about Hugh Freeze, because you've been around him, you've seen him. You think he's going to find him another job, and you think he'll do good somewhere else?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speak too much to that. I can't imagine, I can't imagine being in the situation that he's in and wanting to coach again, quite frankly. I mean, you give me a buyout and I've got all kind of, I don't know. Coach Freeze always did the things that he needed to do with us and did them well. And the way that I look back at his tenure, when he got to Auburn, the job is a very different job than it is right now. Mm-hmm. The roster had to be totally rebuilt. And imagine, if you would, you're riding a 10-speed bicycle, and you need to catch up on flat land before you start going up a big hill. Mm-hmm. And they just had to catch up from a talent perspective. And so he pedaled hard and used the right speed on that 10-speed to go on flat land and play catch-up. And that's what they did from a roster perspective. Now you had to have a different gear. That same gear that you used to catch up isn't going to work to go up the hill and actually win these close games. I mean, every game Auburn lost this year was by 10 points or less. 6 of the 7 were one-score games. So razor-thin margins of error. And whether it was Hugh Freeze or DJ Durkin as the interim, they lost those games by 1 score. And so you just had to have a different gear. You had to have a different culture. You had to have a different approach, because what was happening wasn't working for what you needed. It worked for what you needed 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was not working for what was needed this year.
Yeah, that Kentucky loss at home, that really was destroying. But that Missouri double overtime loss was one that was like the one that got away. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, that one's one that got away. Oklahoma's one that got away.
Vanderbilt.
A&M's. I mean, seriously, as an Auburn fan, you look at all of them. Georgia was a winnable game. Alabama's a winnable game. Vanderbilt in overtime is a winnable. They're all games that if you have 2 plays back, 2 plays in any of those games that go the other way, then they're wins. But that's a part of the culture change, and I don't know how long it'll take for us as a fan base. But that's what's necessary. Like, you can't talk anymore about, well, we were this close, or gosh, if that play would have gone that way. Well, they didn't.
Yep.
They didn't go that way. You didn't make the play necessary. In the Iron Bowl, Auburn had 2 interceptions go right through their hands.
Yep.
And Alabama went down and scored on those drives. So make the plays, and that's the difference. In this league, everybody has talent. Everybody has facilities. Everybody has NIL. Everybody has a 90,000-seat stadium or thereabouts. So what's the difference? You don't win games in October. You win them in January and February. You don't win games on Saturday. You win them on Monday and Tuesday. So can the approach be consistent enough? Can the process be airtight enough that you get over the hump and make that play when you have to make it in the fourth quarter of a conference game? That's the emphasis.
Yeah, I think that Kentucky game, I mean, it's almost a must-win. I mean, the way that they've been playing lately, they got a couple of big wins towards the end with Florida and then, of course, Auburn. But the Missouri one was like, that's the middle of the SEC. Vanderbilt surprised us all. They're a 5th or 6th best team in this conference. Yeah. I mean, I hate to see them being held out, but next year's schedule looks beneficial for Auburn. And look, before the season started, I think almost everybody was picking Auburn to win 7 games, maybe 6. Yeah. You're kind of looking at that Kentucky one. You take that away, and that's the difference between you being 6-6 and 5-7, and then you'd be looking at a bowl game. I think the future looks bright for Auburn, but let me tell you, from the outside, from being an LSU fan, I want to see Auburn play outside of the SEC territory. And I know y'all played the Cal Bears in the past a couple of times, but playing inside just the Southeast, I want to see y'all get a scheduling of teams of significance, like outside of the footprint of the SEC. And Baylor's not, I mean, they're in Texas, and we already have 2 teams in the SEC in Texas, you know. Who would you like to see as far as scheduling went if it was outside of the footprint of the SEC?
Notre Dame. They announced that a few weeks ago. They're going to do a home and home with Notre Dame.
Wow.
That should be good, especially after, with Golish coming in. That should be made for television there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. We're up against a break, but as far as the quarterback, what you saw, I mean, he looked to me the part. He definitely made some mistakes. They all do. I mean, Ty Simpson did not look good to me. But when you look at the future with him, possibly, obviously they got to, go through training camp and all that and get who's going to be the one or whatever. The future does look bright for Auburn, especially with the recruits that they have. Now, did they lose Cam Coleman? Did I see that correctly, or was that just something that, was a troll on the internet?
No, they haven't lost Cam. That I don't think an announcement's been made either way, but he's not draft eligible yet. He's got another season of college eligibility. I'd be surprised if he goes anywhere, especially with this offense coming in and track record of receivers and Alex Golish offenses. It would surprise me tremendously if he weren't here next year.
Well, Brad, we sure do appreciate all the great info that you've given us, and we appreciate you being a friend of the show. And we definitely, once all of this kind of shakes out, we'll get with you and get some basketball talking going on, because we do have a bunch of basketball fans around this area, and them Tigers with Coach Pearl's got to get it going.
Yeah, big opportunity tonight with NC State and then at number 2 Arizona Saturday. So it's a big week, and we'll see if they can take down the Wolfpack tonight.
Brad Law from Auburn University, everybody. Thank you so much, Brad. We appreciate you.
You got it, guys. War Eagle.
When we come back, we are going to talk a little bit more about the playoff, and then I've got something I've got to tell Jeffrey, because he kind of irked me earlier. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
LSU and Lane Kiffin both better be right, because if they're not, the shine comes off of Lane Kiffin, but I think some of the shine also comes off of LSU's program, and they get relegated to a second-tier school when it comes to the conversation around competing for national championships. That's what LSU becomes.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday evening. As we head into tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of 48 with a light wind at 6 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. For tomorrow morning, a mixture of very light rain and mostly clouds and a temp near 57. In the afternoon and evening, lightly sprinkling and a high around 59. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose, hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
For a limited time, Krispy Kreme Donuts presents the Charlie Brown and Peanuts Christmas Donut Collection. Including Snoopy cookies and cream donut, Charlie Brown ornament donut, Christmas wreath donut, and 2 returning treats. All available now through December 24th at Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts, since 1937, where you get them hot.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, where the listeners call the plays.
That's a big factor in what Florida State's going to do for the future of this program.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We are live, local, and worldwide right here in the beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida, in your CBC Construction Studio. Don't forget, on Friday, we will be giving away at 5 o'clock Jacksonville Jaguar tickets. Don't forget it. Friday at 5 o'clock, we will be doing that. Now, Jeffrey, we talked about at the end of our interview with Brad Long, we were talking about you wanting to see Auburn schedule people outside of the SEC, but more or less outside of the South. You wanted them to see play against some good teams. How do you feel about that? Tell me what you were saying.
I mean, I understand not going to California to go play in Berkeley. I mean, that's cross country. I'm not asking for that. And Baylor is in that footprint of Texas, and Texas A&M. I also don't want to see you playing Southern Miss, South Alabama. I understand playing one game a year against those teams. Mercer, Jacksonville State. Those four teams right there, Mercer, Jacksonville State, South Alabama, and Southern Miss. You know what those four teams have in common?
What?
They either played Auburn this year or next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's just too much. And we're going to a 9-game schedule. So I want to see, and I understand Baylor's that's a big name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want you to go a little bit outside, go to North Carolina or Virginia or Iowa or Illinois or even, I don't know, Cincinnati. Go play Cincinnati Bearcats. Go play Purdue. Go play somebody significant outside of the Southeast where the SEC footprint is. I want to see LSU do the same thing. Clemson is in the footprint of the SEC, and that's who we open with next year, by the way, in the real Death Valley.
Yeah.
I mean, Bama, Florida State. I mean, it's right down the road. It's right down over here. I kind of like it, but I also want to see Bama go play Penn State and beat them, right?
They have.
Yeah, they have. Been there. Done that.
And beat them in October.
Let's go do it again.
Yep. Okay, but I'm going to have to disagree with you, my friend, and the reasoning is because of what Texas Longhorns is going through right now. You say go out and play these teams that matter. Don't play Mercer. Don't play Jacksonville State. Don't play Southern Miss. Don't play South Alabama, but you want me to go play Penn State. You want me to go play Ohio State. You want me to go play these teams that possibly could put a blemish on our record. So now you've got Texas who's saying if we get left out of the playoff, we are definitely canceling our 1-1 with Ohio State. And that, my friend, is why I don't like it either. Because if you're gonna you're gonna ding me for going and playing in the shoe in Columbus, the first game of the season with everybody, you lose by 7 points. And then when you lose by 7 points, who you say, and I'm talking about the committee, you say they're the best team in the country. Well, we only lost by them 7 points at their house with their crowd. Yeah, it was at 11 o'clock, but who cares? You still are dinging me for going and playing and losing. Now, yeah, it's easy to say, oh, well, just go win. Yeah, well, that's everybody's choice. But if you go and you play against these teams that are good like that and it keeps you out of the playoff, who cares if you play Southern Miss? Who cares if you play South Alabama? Who cares if you play the Little Sisters of the Poor? You need to be undefeated against your outside schedule, especially in the SEC, because now we're seeing Texas is going to get left out. It's going to happen. And when it does, you're going to see teams stop doing what you're asking them to do. You're a college football fan. I get it. You want to see what Auburn can do against an Ohio State. You want to see Auburn play, Notre Dame. You want to see that. And that's all good. But as soon as you go up there and lose to Notre Dame, then you take a loss to Alabama, and the playoff committee says, you know what? Because you got 2 losses, you can't get in this year. Yeah. Auburn's going to stop playing those games because you got to know that you're trying to get to the playoff. That's all that matters. No more are we looking at rivalries That doesn't matter anymore. We want to make the playoff, and that is all.
So that's detrimental to the SEC playing the Big Ten in the regular season.
Yes.
Because just as you have a Texas losing to a Big Ten team,
yes,
and holding them out, because 10-2 is going to get you in this year for everybody but what? Vanderbilt and also Miami,
right?
Whatever. You know, the shoe's on the other foot with the other side, because guess what? Michigan is
out.
I think they're 9-3, and they lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah,
who's going into the playoffs? So if Michigan hadn't played that team, let's say they go 10-2, are they right on the edge? Probably. So now we're a detriment to scheduling big opponents.
Yeah, and that should be, because you're going to keep people out of the playoff because of it.
Yeah.
Texas is getting left out, and then you look at it, so it doesn't even matter now when you look at when Miami is out and Notre Dame is in. They've got the same record, and they've got a head-to-head.
Yeah.
So it did not profit Miami one iota to beat Notre Dame, because now Notre Dame's going to get in, and Miami possibly is not going to.
Yeah, it's awful.
So have I maybe switched your ideas? Yes, for the sake of having a good game. You want to see it. You want to see what Auburn does. But you'll have to wait, my friend, until they make the playoff, and then you can see it in the playoff where it really matters.
Yeah, this committee's got to get their stuff together. I mean, of course I'm not going to agree with them 100% of the time.
Right.
But at least like it to be about 80 or 90% of the time. And this is not good with, you know, having the SEC never play the Big Ten. I mean, because eventually all you're going to have is you're going to have Kentucky playing Indiana.
Yeah.
Am I right?
And then they're going to be like, oh, the big bad SEC.
Right? Yeah. And in Kentucky, they were in the SEC and they lost to Indiana, you know, or Purdue or whoever. You know, it's like, well, that's our bottom dweller, you know.
Right. And and that is how it works. But speaking of Ohio State, we did have breaking news today that Brian Hartline is going to be the head football coach at the University of South Florida. So what do you think about that? He hasn't never been.
That's horrible, man.
He's never been a head coach. He's played in the NFL.
Horrible.
He's been a wide receivers coach. He's been the offensive coordinator. What do you think about Brian Hartline going to USC? Horrible?
Yeah, that's not good. You know what I wanted to say? We were talking about Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this, but he was at Liberty before, right?
Yeah.
They fired their co-offensive coordinator yesterday or today, this morning, whatever it was. And they lost, believe it or not, Auburn lost, 2 overtime games. Guess who lost 3 overtime games this year? Liberty. I wouldn't even be against, I don't know if he would take an offensive coordinator job, but Hugh Freeze going back to Liberty to coach the offense, I think that would be a good idea.
Maybe.
If he was happy there.
Yeah. He's got enough money.
And that program knows they can win their conference. But
Hugh Freeze is an ego guy, though. He has been a head coach.
Wow.
He's an ego guy. He doesn't want to do that. I don't think he wants to do that kind of stuff. He made him a definite plea, basically, is what he was doing, is what I took it as, is that he said, I'm still young enough. I've won everywhere that I was at except for Auburn. He said, yeah, I messed up. I didn't do very good. We didn't win. But I still got a lot in the tank. I'm still a good coach. Speaking of a lot in the tank, it has been sent to me and reported, and obviously we need to check these sources, but it has been reported that former Florida head football coach Billy Napier is expected to be named the next head coach at Tulane.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't even know how I feel about that.
Well, don't forget, when he was at Louisiana Lafayette, he went 40-12 in that conference. So, I mean,
and
really,
the nemesis there was Appalachian State. That was the one who had his number, and that was it in that conference.
Well, and we've talked about it before. There's coaches that can coach in the big time, and there's coaches that can coach 2 and 3 stars or 1 stars up. And it makes you wonder, because you've got all of these other coaches, and you said that that Golish was the best of the group for you.
Oh yeah.
Why not Summerall? Why not the other guys? Why not?
I mean, the previous coach at Tulane did just as good, if not better. That was Willie Fritz. He's at Houston. They took a couple of late season losses. They ended up 9-3. I'm just not impressed with Summerall. No. Troy was not running the Sun Belt when he was there at Troy. They weren't even winning the Western Division. Lafayette was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, at least Lane Kiffin, the only conference he's ever won was when he was down at Florida Atlantic. I don't know. I just... Billy Napier at Tulane's kind of weird and tricky. But in this conference, now that you've lost Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF, the big teams really, in my mind, is Navy, who's been doing really well for 2 years straight, and Memphis. This North Texas and South Florida, they're flash in the pan. They're not going to be back. 2 years from now, we will even forgot that they even existed unless they pull some type of upset in a bowl game or North Texas wins a playoff game, which I don't think that they will, but I think that they're able to hang with some teams. I think, we're talking about all these little teams. I don't want to see James Madison or Tulane in there. I want to see North Texas go to the playoffs and hopefully play somebody close, but I know they're going to lose by 20-something.
Yeah, and see, that's what I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I want the 12 best teams, and if you're not going to give me the 12 best teams, then move that baby to 16 so that we can see all of the best teams, because Miami's better than them, Vanderbilt's better than them, and Texas is better than them.
So Oregon's the 5 seed right now, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What did Oregon played? They went to the Cotton Bowl last year, I believe it was, and throttled somebody from a small school. I can't remember if it was James Madison or... No, it was 2 years ago, maybe. They beat Liberty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They throttled them like 40-6.
I just don't see the purpose behind it if we're saying these are the best teams. I don't care what your record is. If you're in a weak conference, you're in a weak conference. Mm-hmm. And that's really, you look at high school football, when you're in a weak district and you win your district, but then you go out and you might, get beat bad or something like that, then it shows that your district was weak. And so, not that you don't deserve to be in the playoff, I'm not saying that. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, I get it.
And so with the college football, you won your deal, that's fine. We'll let you get as close as we can. But if we don't think you're the best in the group, I mean, they pay those guys money. They pay them to watch. They're supposed to know the game. They're supposed to know what they're looking at. And I just think we're past giving second place or trophies to everybody just because you won this amount of games. It's just still, if you look at it, it's still a stretch for me to look and see Texas Tech in the top 5. I get it. They spent the money. They played good. They've got a good thing going. Not that they're not good and that they can't beat a team that's in there. But it's just hard for me to imagine Texas Tech going in and winning it all, because you're going to see whoever loses against Ohio State and Indiana, one of those is going to drop. Now, if it's a blowout, they'll drop more. But if it's close, they'll drop 2 spots, and you'll see a Texas Tech team being number 3 in the country.
Oh, gross.
And that's just not, I just don't get it. And you know what I mean? Like, and then if if Alabama beats Georgia by a field goal or 1 point, and then you've got Georgia who should be up there, they're not up there, and Texas Tech's ahead of them, and it's just a really
you just blew my mind
weird situation.
You just blew my mind because you believe in Alabama beating Georgia, and that's not out of realm of possibilities.
Right, it's just hard to beat somebody twice.
Yeah,
it's hard. It really is.
But then let's say Georgia falls to 5 or 6. And Bama's like 7 or 8 or something like that, and at least gets a home game. Where's the SEC? They're not even in the top 4?
Not even top 4.
That's awful.
Yeah, but this is where we are because of the way they're doing this whole, we got to put this team there and we need this team in that deal. But you know what? I'm glad that we don't have to do that, but they do. But
selection, I don't think it's Selection Sunday.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
So Monday, I'm going to listen to you complain
yes,
about North Texas and maybe even a James Madison.
No, they both can't get in.
Yeah.
I'll call.
So Virginia's got to lose for that to happen, you know.
Yeah, I'll call the playoff committee if they put them both in.
I'm gonna call Trump.
I'm gonna call somebody.
Jeff Landry. He gets things done.
He gets it done.
No.
That's right. You know who else gets it done? AutoNation Ford in Panama City. Those guys know how to get you in the right vehicle at the right price. You want to go see them for vehicles. Go to the professionals. They'll get you in there. They'll get you into the vehicle that you want, and no pressure sales. They've got great deals going on right now. Go see them, 730 West 15th Street, right there by the railroad tracks. You know what else? You know who else does a good job? Recommended Collision Center. Recommended Collision Center on Jinx Avenue. Those guys are top-notch. Brandon, who normally is here on Wednesday, but he's going to be in tomorrow. They do a phenomenal job. They take care of you. They value their customers. That's what locally owned, locally operated means. They value their customers. They value your business. And so a locally owned company like Recommended Collision Center, that's where you want to get your vehicle taken care of. If there's anything going on with your vehicle, go take it over there. Let Brandon and those guys look at it, and they'll take care of you. Jeffrey, you got something to say?
Yeah, get in the holiday spirit, because everyone's on the nice list on Hard Rock Bet. Sign up and place a $5 wager. If it wins, you score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings.
What?
A winning bet and a boosted bankroll. Now that's a gift worth unwrapping. This is offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 or older and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Play wise. Make sure you play wise. All right. So when we come back, we are going to talk about some of the recruits that signed this week. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
LSU and Lane Kiffin both better be right. Because if they're not, the shine comes off of Lane Kiffin, but I think some of the shine also comes off of LSU's program, and they get relegated to a second-tier school when it comes to the conversation around competing for national championships. That's what LSU becomes.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, folks. It's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store with all of our favorite pieces of gold jewelry, chains, bracelets, pendants, and earrings. Whatever you're looking for, Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the largest selection and the best prices in town. Looking for a curb chain for Dad? Tracy's has it. A gold cross for your sister? Tracy's has it. Even those white gold hoop earrings? Yep, that's right, folks. Tracy's has it. So shop where Santa shops. Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
For exciting college football, the best boiled seafood, and the most game day fun, it's Lone Star Boil House. Watch the games on their huge Jumbotron. Challenge your friends to beer pong, cornhole, and oversized Connect 4 in their new adult lounge. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for incredible wings, the best boiled seafood, and a new breakfast menu. Saturday and Sundays starting at 9. Crush the follow on Facebook to catch huge game day specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. Climb into our DM and jump into the chat. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is live on Facebook. Interact with Paul and other sports fanatics. Now, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. Don't forget also Saturday, we are your place for SEC Championship, Georgia versus Alabama at 2 o'clock, kickoffs at 2:30. The nightcap, ACC Championship, kickoffs at 7. You got Virginia taking on Duke. And, I mean, Jeffrey's going to make sure he stays up really late to watch that one. Don't forget also Thursday Night Football, 6:30. Kickoff is at 7:15, the big one. This is a big one for the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys at the Detroit Lions. So should be a really good game there.
So I'm not sure if Detroit's still the first team out. I think it's 6-6.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Because is Dallas 5-5-1?
Yes.
So they're both 50%. It's just a different 50%.
Right.
That's a big game, man.
It's a big one.
I mean,
it really is.
Whoever loses this is in a bind to try and because not only there's the tiebreaker on a team that's fighting for that wild card spot, but just to fall into losing record. Yeah. It's going to take a lot to come back. And these two teams, they have tough schedules ahead of them also.
This year in NFL, we'll talk about it on Thursday, but the NFL this year is wacky. I mean, you've got Kansas City possibly not making it.
Ravens.
Baltimore not possibly making it. And, I mean, geez, you're looking at Buffalo's out almost, too. I mean, they're in right now, but I'm just saying it's like it's not a clear cut like it used to be.
I mean, even the Chargers with the injury and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be looking at them being just to think that Denver, New England, and whoever wins the South.
Jacksonville.
Or the Colts.
Yeah,
either one is a surprise, you know? I mean.
Yeah. Well, let me
the Steelers still win the North? We don't even know that.
Don't even know. But let me ask you this. What world, because you've always been one to talk about things of the past.
Yeah.
What world are we living in today to hear Jared Curtis has flipped his commitment from Georgia
to Vandy
to Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
The number one QB in the 2026 class has been committed to the Bulldogs since May of this year.
What?
He's the highest ranked recruit in the history for Vanderbilt.
Football.
What do you think about that? You've always been, this whole year, you've talked, it's just Vanderbilt. Oh, it's just Vanderbilt. It's just Vanderbilt.
And then they're 10-2.
They're 10-2. They got the number one quarterback coming to their school next year. We're in a different world.
They beat Tennessee.
Like
at their house.
Yes.
The big house that they have.
They beat them. They didn't just win.
Well, the second half, I mean, the score. And I don't even say it was momentum. Did you watch that game? Because I did. Yeah. Because it was on the same time as LSU, Oklahoma. So guess what? I had split screens. And on the left, I had the Tennessee Vanderbilt game. And I kept on watching it. But I had the sound on for the LSU game. And, of course, it made me sick at times because we can't move the ball.
No.
But that second half, I just kept on watching it and looking at it. I'm like, oh, they got a little 7-point lead. Oh, they got a little 14-point lead. I mean, it was astounding. I was just sitting there like, well, Tennessee's going to come back. And then, boom, 24-3. It was tied at half.
Yeah.
24-3 in the second half. I didn't see that coming. I did. Even when I was watching, I didn't see it coming.
So do you think Vanderbilt deserves to be in the playoffs?
Yes.
Whose spot do they deserve more?
Oh, golly. Well, let's... I don't want to be that person that says, what have you done for me lately? But Miami hasn't done anything for me lately, and I hate to put him out because Chris Multiconte is going to just rag on me, probably on the comments section, but I would put Vanderbilt over Miami. Let's leave the two nobodies out, North Texas and James Madison. Virginia only gets in if they beat Duke by, we'll say, 14 or more, Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the situation. Texas is out. They're 9-3. They lost to Florida. That was their one slip-up that they could not do. So Texas is out. And then, of course, you got your 3 Big Ten teams, right? This puts 6 SEC teams in.
Yeah.
Because you got Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt will be the 6. So that's 9 of the 12 slots. The other 3 belong to, I guess, Notre Dame, maybe Vanderbilt, and then, of course, Texas Tech if they can beat BYU for the second time this year. Because we're all talking about Texas Tech, but
if they lose to BYU, then what?
BYU is in, Texas Tech is out. This is an elimination game.
Wow. So let me ask you this. So you don't believe that Vanderbilt's resume is better than Notre Dame's resume?
Well, no. I guess that puts Notre Dame at like the 12 spot. And is Miami the 13 and Texas the 14?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead and mark me down for it. Miami and Notre Dame are almost equals at 12 and 13. But is the selection committee still going to see that? No, they're not. Because Miami's not going to be the 13. They're going to be the second team out. I think Vanderbilt's going to be left out and Miami past them.
Well, and that's the big thing. That's the big picture. If you watch Vanderbilt, you watch them against Alabama, you watch them against Tennessee, you watch them against whoever.
Yeah.
They are a legitimate contender. They can beat you. They can beat anybody in the country any given night. I believe that.
They could have beat Texas. And look at what kind of program Texas and the college is. And all that money, all the boosters, that's the second largest school in the nation in enrollment.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's got like 5,000-6,000 kids. We're talking about 60-something kids, 60-something thousand kids.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Vanderbilt has told, and they just re-upped him. They just extended his contract.
And he deserves it.
And Brent Key got an extension at Georgia Tech. So we got these coaches.
BYU got extended.
BYU got extended. And it all is why? Because they're starting to win games. They're starting to be able to get to the college football playoff. And that's really what you got to think. And so either way, we're going to go to the phone lines. We're going to go to Ed real quick. Ed, are you there, my friend?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on,
buddy.
y'all?
Good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good to hear from you. Good to hear from y'all.
You want to talk about Cinderellas and the playoffs?
We got a sleeper team, y'all think? Y'all keep talking about Texas Tech and A&M and a few of these other guys.
I think it's got to be Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's got to find a way to get in the playoff. If they get in the playoff, they have opportunity to beat teams. You know, I think they can beat teams because they can run the football. They've got a quarterback that can do a little bit of both, and then their defense is really good. So that's really the recipe for being able to win playoff football, and I think they've got all the tools to do it. So give me Vanderbilt. It's my Cinderella.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, like, okay, as far as it goes right now, Paul would normally be for Alabama, but he actually feels like Oklahoma has a shot at beating Alabama for a second time this year.
There's a chance. It's hard to beat somebody twice. I think Alabama has a better shot at beating Oklahoma than they do at beating Georgia just because we've lost to Oklahoma and we beat Georgia.
100%. I agree with that one. And I was just wondering, like, besides that, I was wondering, do y'all believe that there could be a Division I team that can control every sport out there, or is that just virtually impossible as well?
It's too impossible now. They've got too much money, and you got basketball schools, you got baseball schools, and you got football schools.
Fair enough, man. I'm glad I got to call in and say what's up. I know you guys are going to wrap it up soon, but y'all have a great rest of y'all's day and take it easy, y'all, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you. We appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and go to our next caller. We got Bobby on the line from Callaway. What's up, Bobby?
What's up? Man, I can't believe y'all even said Vanderbilt would beat Miami. That is
hold on.
ridiculous.
Wait, Bobby.
That's ridiculous.
Bobby, I didn't say it.
That is ridiculous.
Jeffrey said that. That was specifically Jeffrey.
Yeah, but that is ridiculous. Miami's defensive line would, oh, my God. Diego would have to have a liver transplant. And Miami's offensive line would blow them off the... Dude, are you insane? They got the number one scoring defense in the nation. The offense is rolling right now. Malachi Tony, do y'all even watch Miami games?
I do.
Oh, my God. Miami would destroy Alabama right now. And y'all got Alabama making the playoffs and not Miami?
Well, let me ask you what happened to Miami in the second half.
Right now with Miami would destroy Alabama.
What happened with Miami?
They can't run the football. Miami's defense, you ain't running the football on Miami's defense. You might could pass it on it. Good luck with that. But and Miami's offense right now is clicking on all 8 cylinders. That is ridiculous. For Miami to be left out of the playoffs is a joke. Top 12 teams in the nation, best teams in the nation, Miami's one of them.
That's what
hands down.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think Vanderbilt. Miami, Texas. I think all those guys are way better than JMU, North Texas, Tulane, all of those guys.
Oh my God! I think Arnold High School is better than half them teams. Tulane. What is Tulane? What do they play? They play Rutherford, Bozeman.
That's right.
How are they even in the conversation?
So, who's Miami's, other than Notre Dame, who's the other big win?
They played 3 top teams this year. They won all 3 of them. Notre Dame's played 3. They won 1.
I mean, that's true.
And Miami's beat. I mean, dude, everything you look at the ramifications. I just seen them on ESPN last night. Miami is better in every category. I just don't see why Notre Dame is ranked above Miami. And, dude, does it matter if Georgia rolls Alabama and then Texas Tech rolls BYU? Then what happens?
Well,
Miami's breathing down Notre Dame's neck, and then head-to-head, what happens?
Yeah, exactly. And see, where you got to think about this too, Bobby. What was very refreshing last night is that they did move Notre Dame down. So maybe they're listening. Maybe they realize that the head-to-head should matter, because I think it should. They beat them. They beat them, and Miami should be in there because the records are the same. They have a head-to-head to go by.
They're one of the best teams in the nation, hands down. They're one of the top 12 teams in the nation. If you move the playoffs to get the best 12 teams in the nation. Miami is clean, hands down, one of the best 12 teams in the nation.
I agree with you. I'm not sure if Jeffrey agrees with you. I definitely do. We're bumping up.
I don't care what Jeffrey agrees with. Hey, was he use 2-ply or 1-ply?
Do I stand up or sit down?
Hey, do you put your hole through the paper?
Oh man!
I mean, I don't care what Jeffrey agrees with. Miami is he ain't watched no Miami game this year. Their offense is clicking. It is clicking. Their defense has always been good. They're the one scoring defense in the nation. Their 2 losses were like 24-21. 21-20, I think. I mean, they didn't get blowed out. They just offense had a bad day, but the defense still didn't give up nothing.
Yep, you're exactly right.
So they need to be in the ACC championship.
They do.
Yeah.
They screwed up. They screwed themselves. They had a couple off days. I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, just win one of those games. Where will they be right now?
Yeah.
Probably about 5th.
Yeah, 5th or 6th right there, and winning the ACC championship too. Probably put them up.
And they would blow Virginia's doors off.
Yeah, I agree.
Hands down. But I can't see how they say moving it up to 12 teams is going to get the best teams in the nation in, but you can put North Texas in there.
Yeah, right.
Put Tulane in there.
Exactly.
James Madison in there. Put them against Miami.
Yep.
Please.
They blow them out.
Please.
Well, we appreciate the call, Bobby. We got to go because we're about out of time. But, man, thank you for the call.
Brother.
We appreciate it, my friend.
Go Canes.
Yes, sir. And I agree with him. I think he's right. I think he's 100% right. I think they've got the head-to-head with Notre Dame, and there's no possible way, and I know I sound like a broken record. North Texas, James Madison, Tulane, get out of here. You're listening to the Sports Blitz today. Thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow. Got a lot more to talk about. Thanks so much. Have a great night, everybody.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end.